Hi everyone, it's Veronica Bartolini with Codebreaker Real Talk, Unchained Hearts and Unchaining Hearts. Today I'm going to have the other Hulk, Mr. Jose Ramirez. And I met you, Jose, at the gym like it's going to be 4 years ago. And I
Yeah,
started talking to you about conspiracy theories. And now look at you, you got your own podcast. How are you?
yeah, definitely. It's been very exciting to go into the world of conspiracy theories, talking physical health and interviewing local artists, and it's been fun. It's been a very good experience with my podcast.
That is awesome. And if you want to have anybody else on, that would be great. You said maybe your wife is on, and if she has questions, thank you for being here, Ms. Ramirez, as well.
You.
Hey. So
Yeah,
congratulations on your marriage as well. Yeah, the other day we were talking about the cult addiction, and it's funny that you brought that up because I've never watched this movie from Adam Sandler, and it's called Nikki, and he was in hell, and his father is Satan, and his grandfather is Lucifer.
saying
And
senior, yeah,
his mother is an angel. And that's
yeah,
that's exactly what how we are here. We are stars being star seeds. And then they they mess us up with their DNA because they want their parasites, their, beings to live within us. And it's like, and then they tempt you to do bad things. They laugh at you because that's how they live. We have a heart of an angel, but then we have these bloodlines, the Draco, the German, the Moor line, the mermaid, all kinds of bloodlines. And it's a war within us. We have the NAZIs, which is the blonde beings with the blue eyes, and then we got the giants that are red hair with green eyes. You also look at that movie, Ragnarok, right? Or the one with Thor, but it's
Ragnarok.
the one, yeah. And
Yeah,
there's a fight there too with Loki and his brother. So anyway, um, what do you think about that movie, Nikki? Have you seen it?
it's actually one of my favorite movies, and I see it as a comedy. Um, I mean, I truly believe you're right. We are good and evil. We have our own filtration systems to be able to know that what we see as good and what we see as wrong is our perspective of it. Um, I do believe there's always an angel and a little devil on your shoulders because I battle with them every day, and it's a constant struggle for me because I was a former, alcoholic, former pill addicted and stuff like that. But I've literally gone through focusing and really trying to keep a positive mindset and not trying to go back into my old roots as well. So that movie for me is a good view of it because at the end he does become a good person, which means every bad person can eventually be good, but then every good person can eventually become bad. So I took it as a kind of like you make your own definition of what you want to be positive and be good in a different light or different um, reality as you see people want to see yourself. You know what I mean? Um, like I said, I'm a big positive believer in positivity. If you produce positive, you get positive. Even through the negatives, you still got to be positive regardless of whatever happens. And yeah, like I said, Little Nicky is one of my favorite movies, and people interpreted it differently. And to me, that's amazing because people will see the messages that are meant to be seen for them throughout their eyes and throughout their memories and stuff like that.
Yeah, I really liked it, especially because for like 3 years, I'm like, you know what? I don't think hell is hot. I think hell is like cold. And then the guys, they go through the hell portal and it
Yeah,
freezes, right? And I always say, this is my theory. The way I came in was a shooting star through the sun portal. And we have the abilities. The reason why they use this in Secret Space and Super Soldier. And I told you a long time ago, I go, hey brother, I think you're one of us. Like I think you're using the Super Soldier program. Is
no,
we have the ability to go through wormholes and portals to change timelines, here on Earth. If you notice the dreams that we have, sometimes they bleed through. You'll wake up with the bruise or your scratch. It's like, what was I doing? Was I
yeah,
fighting in my sleep, babe? I mean, have you asked her, hey, what did I do? Did I sleepwalk? You know what I'm saying? So we're here to help save humanity. I don't like to use the save word because it's like a mentality of, oh, I need to be saved. No, I believe that I should reiterate, I believe that we are here to empower other human beings to find out what their mission or missions are here on Earth.
yeah.
Right?
Well, since I've been doing my own self journey of healing, I've been trying to do it mentally, physically, and spiritually. um, I've really just kind of been asking my questions why. I always myself questions why. I always ask questions through my Snapchat, through my TikTok. I always ask the three questions every day that I answer personally, and I just ask. I don't ask people to comment back to me or tell me anything or give me answers, but people actually have responded to me. So I come up with the question every day, like, "Am I happy at my work? Am I satisfied with the work I do? And what does my work benefit me?" And then those are just three random questions that come up every day, and I think about them all day. Like, how does this really benefit me through my life? Like, if my job really fulfilling? And as I look back and reflect, I see that I don't do much at my job. I have fun at my job. I am a security guard for like clinics and stuff like that. But also, my job allows me to research a lot of topics. So I always keep myself busy studying or learning something different. Like I said, I did my little research on you as well as when I was at work, did little things here and there, and obviously our conversations as well. Because like I said, I've known when I first met you, it was at the gym, Choose, right? Um, I didn't notice you at first, but then you walked up to me and you're like, "Hey, I like your shirt," and I think that's how you started the conversation with me. And I was like, no one ever comes and talks to me at the gym because obviously I'm a big guy, scary, a little intimidating to be coming up to, especially when I was bigger at that point. When I was doing my strongman workouts, I was walking around 270. Right now, I'm kind of light because I've been intermittent fasting to help drop my diabetes and stuff like that. But I remember you came up to me and you started, we got, "Oh, I like the Hulk. They call me the She-Hulk," and right away we just started clicking, boom, 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 and then through I don't know, what would you call yourself? Would you call yourself more of a median or a vibe
I
or?
said, well, I have a show. I said, I'm a psychic medium. I was using these programs, blah, blah, blah. And then, yeah, and I did. I liked your shirt. It was a Hulk and then your tattoo. And I said, yeah, I got to get my tattoo too. And I said, yeah, they have a drawing of one of my altars. I said, is Sheila the She-Hulk,
Yeah.
because, and, we started talking about that, how I got the name. And yeah, you're right. A lot of people are intimidated by us big people because we're out there doing our grind. We're not there to be, flirting or wasting time, man. Like if somebody wants to talk to me, I'm going to be trying to be straight to the point and let you, do your work. But yeah, so that's how we met.
Yeah, well, the thing that got me was the most is at that time I was really in a negative kind of path, I guess you could say. And it was your words. You came at me and you were telling me like, you know what, like I can see your energies all off. Excuse me, sorry. I can see your energies all off, and then you start telling me like you're not happy in life, and you started to explain it, and you're like, this is what you need to do. And then I remember that I was like, you know what, like I don't know at the time I didn't know you that well, but that information you gave me actually led for me to actually switch my path and go to a different direction because you saw that I wasn't really happy and I wasn't satisfied. I had the fake front of of being joyful and happy and all this, but my energy wasn't there. And you saw that when you told me that, I kind of just took it and kind of was like, you know what? I had to look into myself and see what's wrong at this time. And like I said, you read my energies and you were pretty close. I mean, no lie, you were pretty close. It was kind of amazing that you had me. So that's what kind of like attracted me towards you and your energy, your vibe, because you always have like a positive vibe. Even though I know you have your negative and down times as well, but you always have like just a higher energy that people want to vibe towards you. And I feel that I'm one of those people as well. But at that time, you read me, like how do you want to say, like an empath. You read me and you called me out on my stuff. And as you said, the
I didn't
last
even
time you were
know you,
talking,
dude.
that's what it was funny. That's what made me kind of like open up my eyes, like, oh, wait a minute, like she doesn't know me, but she's telling me my life isn't. I'm not happy in my life, and what I was doing was bad. And the reason why I spoke about your cult addiction code video because you were talking about how men are always, the dogs. They're always out here, having intercourse with everything that moves. And to be honest to myself, I was that man. I was that person at one point, but it's because it's what people expected of me. So I wanted to please them. And when I realized I had to be selfish in order to better myself in a formal way, that's when I kind of realized, you know what, I can start healing now because I'm not being what other people think of me. I'm being myself, true to myself at a degree. And you helped me find that path. It was pretty crazy. I actually told my wife that she told me some stuff and I went home and thought about it and then it made me changed my lifestyle.
I am so happy for you guys. You know, because some people they're like, what are you telling me this stuff for? You're a girl, like, what do you know about me? You know, like, get out of here. Like, I don't want you to tell me my dark secret. You know, they don't want to be seen. They want to hide in the shadow. You know, they portray that, oh, don't look at me, don't talk to me, you know, I'm dark as fuck. Like, I don't even have light in here right now, you know, kind of a thing. And it's I was looking at your Snapchats and your wife at the time, your girlfriend, fiance, and we, you know, I'd laugh with you guys and things like that. And then I started noticing that, and I'm very proud of you, by the way. Thank you for that. You know, and then you're like, yeah, we're gonna get married. And then I saw how now she started smiling more, the kids, you know, and those
Yeah.
questions that you ask every day even helped me. I'm like, he's out there, yes, like I felt like I did my due diligence, you know, because I want everybody to be happy, dude. Like I do. I want everybody to be able to bring their vibration up. You know, there are days, I'm not gonna lie, shoot. Yesterday I was like, man, I don't want to go work out. I got started getting all sad and I'm like, oh hell no, I'm gonna take my butt to work, you know, to work out. And I started putting some really energizing EDM, very positive, high vibing energy out there, you know, on YouTube, the music that I was listening to. And I was like, and then a friend of mine, you know, he's been there too, like almost 5 years. I don't know if you know Mike, he's like, hey, he put, you know, give me the fist pump. Hey, you look really happy today. I'm like, yeah, dude, like I am, you know, I was on the freaking water rowing machine. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm happy, dude, you know. But yeah, I want as many people as possible to find their happiness. And my thing is like, you're not going to find it in a man or a woman. You're going to find it in yourself, and you cannot no longer um you know, forbid that inner child to come out. You cannot be abandoning your inner child that lives in your heart, man. She or he's trying to tell you something. Like, wake
Yes,
up.
that's very true. Like I told my wife and I explained it to her, like, you know what? I was trying to make you happy, and me trying to make you happy made me miserable. So right now, your happiness is your happiness, and my happiness is my happiness. And when she understood and I understood that, we were able to make our relationship more solid in a way, because then she understood where I was coming from, and she saw that I was really trying to change for the better, and took my lead and my example and put it into her life, and things started changing for her as well. And we've been progressing and then doing it together. And it's been a very, very, very grateful experience and journey, which I've been enjoying. And, you know, and like I said, I did Strongman before. I hurt my foot. I lost an inch of vein. I was carrying 600 pounds in the yoke carry, walked about 10, 15 feet, and my vein just popped in my foot. So I was out for like 8 months of the gym, and I was miserable because honestly the gym is my safe haven, it's my joy, it's my fun. Like, you know, you already know you got to let the Hulk play sometimes, and that's just the best part of it. And I was miserable, so I changed my outlook of everything. So I took up intermediate fasting. um, I had high blood sugars, 300 range, danger range, almost for constant time, for months at end. Never could bring it down. Pills weren't helping that much. Insulin wasn't helping that much. When I finally switched my brain to think differently, and actually, I do 16-hour intermediate fasting because I am diabetic, and my research has shown me that if I go for too long, my sugars can probably drop and I can put myself into a diabetic shock. So I only done 16. I haven't done further than that yet, but I haven't been able to have time to push myself a little bit further. But I mean, I really, like I said, thank you again for, you know, sharing that information with me. Like I said, at that time, it's what I needed, and it helped out a lot. And I'm very grateful for it as well. And I'm in a better place from what I was back then.
Anytime. Thank you too for listening. Mhm.
Yeah.
And what kind of questions did you said you wanted to pick my brain? I'm like, man.
So like, I mean, like I know that I've called you sometimes. I message you like, "Hey, what about these chemtrails? What do you know about the chemtrails?" And you right away you had an answer for me. You're like, "Well, it's the chemicals. They're trying to take away your third eye." And then I was like wondering, like, where did she get her information from? Like, you know, I'm pretty much curious. But I mean, like I said, I've researched you myself, and I know right now, you know, you're a psychic medium. You do cleansing. You do hoax removals. You're a former TPD, right?
City of South Tucson Police, which
There
is
you go.
South South Tucson
South
Police.
Tucson, yes, yes.
Yeah.
And your YouTube, I mean, obviously it's Code Breakers or was it Code Breakers Real Talk, right?
We'll make a real talk. Yeah, I was in the military, and when I was in the military, what they did is in 1991, they gave me a freaking what they call 5-in-1 shot, which is it was anthrax mixed with the Quaalude, and instead of them giving me a succession of them, like say once a month, me and the whoever my crew was, they're like, no, you're gonna come up to Phoenix and we're gonna give you one shot one day. You're gonna come, do your physical and stuff like that, because we were getting ready to be shipped out. And it's like, I had no idea what the heck they gave me till later. Now I've had two spine surgeries because the anthrax is something given to us to light up your spine. And I've talked to people, even a guy that randomly I was here, walking Lola last year, and he's like, yeah, dude, they gave me the anthrax, the 5-in-1 shot in 98. I'm like, seriously? So, I'm still trying to get my benefits, and they closed the DAV. I called like about 2 weeks ago and they're closed. I'm like, what the hell? And I've been waiting for 6 months already. So anyway, yeah, as far as the fumes and stuff, there's a movie out there, 1995, it's called Safe, and it's 1995 Legend. And I saw it the other day, and it was this girl over there in California, based on a true story. She got stuck behind a bus, right? And those big old work trucks, and she started coughing up and coughing, and she's like getting all these panic attacks, and then she started getting depressed. Her husband's like, you got to go to see a psychiatrist. They got to give you on, get you on these pills. And finally, she found out that those fumes, later on, they do a regulation in LA where, they have to get their, I don't know what they call it. There's a special word there, the fumes down to a certain minimum. Like, when you go get your car to pass emissions, you know what I'm saying? That smog thing. Yeah. So she ended up having to go like out of town to this ranch to heal and detox. And us women, I just even ask your wife, it's like, this nail polish right here, what does it have? Is it flammable petroleum? What, cremas, like you put like Clinique or Lancome, whatever, they have so much chemicals. Even Bath and Body, the other day, last night, he came to say, hey mom, you don't use Bath and Body Works no more? And I'm like, hell no, it has the PEG negative 100 that causes ovarian cancer and breast cancer. So us women, we gotta, yes, we, the minute we wake up, oh, la crema, the toothbrush, the ¿cómo se llama? The not toothbrush, ¿cómo se llama esa madre? I had it ringing in my ear and they're trying to fuck with me, excuse my language.
No
So
worries.
what do you brush your teeth with? ¿Cómo se llama? La pasta,
Yeah,
it has
toothpaste.
fluoride. Yeah, it
Oh,
has
yeah. Well, I mean, the fluoride's in the water. It's in everything you see. Most of them are food products and stuff like that. And it does, to me, I think it blocks the mind, the pineal eye or whatever you call it. Um, I just know that I started using less products. I mean, the only thing I probably do use right now is probably just deodorant, just because I'm a big guy. I smell. It is what it is. But I try to use least chemicals as possible and eat as natural as possible as well.
Yeah, I had to switch those chemicals, they have the aluminum in there. The Secret, don't use that. I started using Schmidt's or something, and it didn't have any fluoride, but I just found out the other day that it had a chemical that's not good. So I changed to native. And then as far as brushing my teeth, I use baking soda. And then I take a lot of detox baths, which have you can put borax in there, the Epsom salt, baking soda. I do a splash of apple cider vinegar in there to pH balance it. And I was going to tell you too, when you do your fasting, because I do fasting before I go to the gym, I will not eat until after I'm done working out. At night, I usually take a shot of apple cider vinegar. That helps me a lot.
Mhm.
I don't know if you've tried that.
No. I mostly just drink water. I'm a big fan of water. Um, so I fall asleep maybe midnight. I'm out. 6 if I don't have to take the kids, or 7 I wake up. Don't eat. Start drinking water right away. 12 o'clock, start eating. But before that, like I said, I go to the gym. I feel better eating empty, and I feel like I do more, and my energy is more up when my stomach is empty. But once I'm done with my workout, yeah, I eat like I eat like a monster, and I eat a lot. Um, I mean, the energy that we produce, lifting heavy and constantly doing sets after sets, and you're gonna burn up the calories, and you're gonna need to replace it. But I've also been trying to eat more fruits, eat more vegetables, trying to stay away from meat-based proteins. I'm trying to replace it with alfalfa sprouts and avocados for protein as well. And I found out that they give alfalfa sprouts to horses to help them build muscle. So I figured I would try it and see how that works. And I've actually lost a little weight, but my strength has increased a little bit here and there as well.
Oh,
So I
nice.
mean, doing my own studies, I've been doing try and error, see what works.
Yeah, I use one that's organic and it's plant-based. The chocolate one, they sell it at organic non-GMO, they sell it at Costco.
Yeah.
We do that.
Yeah, I did have an organic protein. I didn't like the flavor, so
Yeah.
if the flavor isn't there, you're not gonna drink it. You're not gonna use it. It's just it is what it is. It's like I said, trial and error. Which flavors you like, and once you find a flavor, you and it works.
Yeah, you need some flavor in there too.
Yeah, yeah. So I do like in the morning for breakfast, I'll do like a shake, like a smoothie. I do like blueberries, blackberries, strawberries, some cinnamon powder, paprika. Um, I haven't had rosemary in a while, but fresh rosemary. Um, I need to redo my Celtic salt because I like Celtic salt because I think it has more minerals and vitamins than pink Himalayan salt. So I do that. Um, I pretty much like that's pretty much will be my breakfast. And since like I am diabetic, I still take my metformin, but I used to take 1,000 milligrams. I'm actually taking 500. I've actually gone half. And as I start to progress more and more, I'm actually hoping to diminish that number as well, to
You
to not having to take metformin whatsoever
you will.
or
Like,
any insulins.
yep, give yourself like another 6 months. I'm
Yeah.
telling you. Use cherries. Use cherries in the protein shake because that helps with digestion too. And it
Yeah.
helps as an antioxidant if you have cherries. Another kind of pricey, but Costco has them frozen for like, I don't know, $10. You get a bag, you know.
Well,
Um,
like I said, I was watching your YouTube. I've actually started backwards, so I see your new videos before I see the latest ones as well. But as I was going back, I saw you did it was called Unchained Hearts, and I
yeah.
was very curious about that. What was that about?
Oh my gosh, Unchained Hearts, man. Years ago when I lost everything. I had a divorce. I mean, it was hard. I was homeless, with my kid, and I was like, what the hell am I gonna do? Finally, I got my apartment. The disability kicked in. And I started healing myself because I was like, why am I so depressed? Why am I so needy of I don't need a man. I kept telling myself, why do I have to put myself out there to be given attention? I'm like, what the hell's wrong with me? I was going for 3 years of dialectical behavioral therapy and a year of PTSD at the same time.
Mhm.
And so I started writing everything down that the issues, I always tell myself, am I hungry, angry, lonely, or tired? What is the issue? Why am I mad at so and so? Why am I mad at why am I so mad? Am I hungry? What the hell? So anyway, just a bunch of issues in my life that I'm not going to get into it, but a lot of trauma that happened. So I started writing things down, started just dealing with it. And I said, I am going to heal my heart no matter what, because I saw my heart that it had like a bunch of chains and thorns and stuff. And I'm like, it's ready to bust. It was purple. Like, I got to do something to heal my heart. Right. And I said, and I saw a wall in front of me, and I'm like, I'm going to get through that wall. I'm going to bust through it. I'm going to, just keep busting. And oh shit, there's another freaking wall. Got to bust through that one, jump through that one, bungee jump through this one, go through the tunnel of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I said, I'm going to bust all the way through until I do. My heart is going to shine again. My light, I just saw it. And then boom, like after I saw all the chains and thorns coming down. And I've always wanted to have a t-shirt that said Unchained Hearts with the heart with a bunch of chains and shit like that, locks. And in the back, the chains and all that stuff, all the thorns and it's all down. It's all your heart is shining. Now, you know,
Yeah.
it's huge. And the lock is like unopened, you know, it's like, it's not locked anymore. Like you have the power to heal yourself. And I started talking to my DNA because I was weighing 271 pounds. They had me on all kinds of psych meds. They had me on epidural shots because of my back pains. They even had to give me heart and lung medication. I was on CPAP. Oh, 271 pounds. I'm like, I'm gonna die. You know, I don't want to die. And that
Yeah.
was during the time that I was healing myself. And I was even pushing a walker. I had a freaking, you know, crutches. I had a baston. What do you call a baston?
Cane,
Yeah,
walking cane.
yeah. And one day I told my nephew, because I was still living with my sister, one of my sisters, I said, you know what? I'm gonna show you something. I'm gonna show you how to guide yourself to where back then I would say the universe, now I say me, where the universe wants you to go. I said, look at those clouds. We're gonna take a drive today, I said. And I saw the clouds pointing an arrow to San Javier. And my dad would always take us to San Javier. There's something about there, man. I don't do religion, I don't do the God thing, you know. But I went over there and then I'm like, oh crap, now I have to go up the mountain. My dad used to take us when we were kids, my sisters and I. And I went up the mountain and then I actually left the cane on the bottom. Went up there and I said, you know, wouldn't it be cool if we get some water here? Because I was so thirsty. And then as I'm climbing, I see these eagles. They to me they look like eagles, but I think they were like the black and white hawk, the black tail hawks.
Ravens,
Huh?
ravens or crows.
No, no, I know they were hawks, but in my mind I saw eagles. I go, Miko, do you see the eagles? He goes, yeah, Tia. And then we got up there and there's a cross, and I go, look, there's water. There's a freaking big old jug of water halfway. And I was gonna drink some, and I'm like, nah, I'll leave it for the other person. And I said, Miko, I'm gonna kneel, but I'm not kneeling to God. I'm kneeling to me. Because if you kneel to God and if you pray to this liars of God's here, they take your
Mhm.
power. If you say I wish, they're gonna give you what you want, but they're gonna take your son, or they're gonna take some shit. You know what I'm saying? From you. And I said, I'm just kneeling to me. And I kneeled and I started crying and I'm like, thank you. I'm like, thank you to me, to my because I know there's people, there's star beings that help us. You
Mhm.
know, they've been here before under this dome because we're under a dome. We gotta escape the dome. The people up there, they're watching you. Some of them are making fun of you, some of them are sending you help. They're telling you, hey, this is a prison planet. You're never gonna get out. I'm like, watch me, bitch. I'm gonna get out through my heart. I'm gonna heal my heart and I'm gonna
Yeah.
help heal. So anyway, after that, I was done with that, and I saw a bunch of like, just I'm like, what are these clouds? And then one of the clouds became a horse with the fire on top, like a fire. I'm like, Miko, look, you know, and I started running down the hill. I said, today, I don't want to cry. Today I'm healed. Today I'm a new me. And
Yeah.
and then I started telling him, Miko, now it's your turn. And so we went, and he found a mine, a mine where they mine gold.
Mhm.
That morning, I had, because somebody told me, they're like, oh, well, if you're a prophet or if you're a psychic medium, you better find two, you know, verses in the Bible that tell you you're it, that God chose you. I'm like, really? Watch me. So I found them, and one of the in Isaiah, one of them said, and the lame will leap and the blind will see. Okay, so then I'm going with my nephew. I go, Miko, you found a mine. It's gold here. They mine gold, dude. And then on the
Yeah.
way back, I go, okay, well, my turn to drive because I didn't want security to go over there and be all crazy on us. And I drove back, and as I well, actually, yeah, as I drove back, I saw a deer running in front of me. And I'm like, I told you, Miko. And what I found really interesting, this still blows my mind. Like, is it my mind or what? Before we had left that day, I told him, look, Miko, these are the scriptures that I found. He goes, I go, do you see this? It's in bold. This part right here about the deer, you know, and like, you know, people will no longer, you know, you'll be able to see and walk and all that. This part is in bold, le digo. And I go, give me your dad's Bible, your mom's Bible, you know, get your sister's Bible. Let me see. There's nothing in bold in those. And they're different variations. I'm like, to this day, I'm like, was it just my imagination? But it just glowed and it was bold. Like, it's for you, Beto. You're going to heal
Yeah.
yourself. You're going to heal others. You're going to help others heal. You're going to find yourself again. You know, you're not going to let things people infiltrate you with all these programs. And then I started this other channel. This is Codebreaker Real Talk, because I see things and I'm like, you know what? I just, there's something beyond these programs. I feel like, like kind of like Superman with the kryptonite. It's like, I'm also the Thor, right? The Thor hammer. We're gonna break this one and we're gonna break that program. No, you don't have to be married. No, you don't have to be poor. No, you don't have to, go to church and confess your sins. Why? Because the Vatican has your secrets, and then the mafia got you. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
all this stuff came, Paul.
Mm. I mean,
Yeah.
I have a similar mindset. I'm not a big fan of organized religion. I think a lot of people have their own hidden agenda when they be speaking about the Bibles and stuff like that. I research other religions, Hinduism, Buddhism, Muslims. I've done Jewish. I've done them all. I've done my own little research here and there, and I've gathered little things here and there. Because honestly, I think religion is a tool that people misuse. They don't understand you could pick and choose information you want to use that benefits you in your life, but other people see it differently. They believe, no, this is the way, this is how it is, this is the answer. There is no definite answer in life. And that's the biggest misconception people have, that they believe that their way is the way and that's the way you're going to get to heaven, hell, whatever you're trying to get to, or whatever. I mean, I've even gone into Satanism and taken some lessons from them, but I don't say that I'm a Satanist. I just use the information and provide it to what best suits my life is at that moment. And I truly believe that's the way to go, because if you believe one way or one topic or one way or one way is the way, then that is totally wrong in my view, because there's so many different possibilities that could happen at one time or one point.
Yeah. I even investigated Buddhism even in high school. I was like trying to find like God, right? But at the end, you find yourself.
I
I have
think,
Mr. Crowley as well, and I teach sex magic. When you're about to orgasm with your partner, instead of imagining whoever, no, you put out what you want. You put out what your wife or your husband wants. What do our kids need? What is even this world? What are saving the children or finances? You put out what do you need healing in both your relationship, and you put it out there instead of letting the energy go, and for these parasites that are hanging out.
use the energy to manifest what you want.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah. So like I said, I believe the universe, whatever we're living in, is a vibration. It's a signal that the universe is giving us. And if you're like a radio receiver, you can receive that signal, then it's up to you to implement that signal and put that energy into the world. So I truly believe what you say is true, because I mean, like I said, I've said, they told me I wasn't going to work out ever again because my foot was messed up. I didn't believe that. I said, you know what? I'm going to do what the doctor tells me. I'm going to do my own natural healing. I'm going to try to get my body up to 100%. And then my pediatric, my foot doctor, I'm sorry, I can't say that right now. My foot doctor was amazed because he's like, dude, your nerve is fully healed. That skin is perfectly, looks like brand new. There's nothing there. Like, I don't know what you're doing, but whatever you did, it worked. I said, well, I manifested. Well, how did you do that? I said, I didn't pray. I didn't do anything. I just kept telling myself, like, you know what? Listen to your doctors, eat healthy, and do what you can do to better equip your body to heal itself faster in a better way. Because as a type 2 diabetic, I wasn't supposed to heal in 8 months. I was supposed to heal longer. They gave me a year to like 4 months. And I said, I can't do that because, first of all, I put all that pressure onto my wife to handle the household, pay the bills, clean the house. But even through that, I was still trying to do my own little things here and there without hurting myself. So I mean, I was walking around, hopping around, whatever I had to do just to keep the pressure off that foot. But if people don't want to take that into effect themselves, they'll never amount to anything. They'll never reach a goal. They'll never have that feeling of I got there, I succeeded. And you and I as fitness people, we understand that the best, because if I want to lift, let's say 300 pounds, I want to bench it. I have to work. And
Yeah.
I usually implement the 5 pound, 5 pound, 5 pound until I get to
Here.
my
I'm
goal.
here. I do the 5 pound.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
did.
yeah. And I mean, and honestly, like I said, I was at one point I was 260 pounds. I was obese, borderline kidney failure, liver failure, was about to lose my feet, so it was literally like I had to implement something different in order to better my life.
Dude, I remember you telling me, yeah, I'm doing the strongman. I'm like, wow, I see you doing that. That's awesome. But then I'm like, you're kind of, oh, I don't know if I use the word overdoing. I said, don't stress out. Like, dude, like you don't have to prove it to nobody, just you.
Yeah,
Because I did powerlifting too. You know, I was weighing 165 and bench press 185, you know, deadlifted 165. And then shoot, I've had 20 surgeries. I need like four more. It's like, but you get up again, you get up again, and it's like they said same thing with you when they said you never. Once I hear that, I'm like, say what? Watch me. And they said you're never gonna be able to leg press after my spinal surgeries. I'm like, watch me, and I am. Even if it's like less weight, you know, half of the weight that I was doing before, I'm getting up there. I will get back to par. You know, I grow bones in 3 months. The doctor said, oh, give yourself 6 months. I'm like, watch me. I grew my bones back in my spine three
yeah.
months.
Yeah, I saw when you explained that to one of your YouTube videos where you were talking about how like they were telling you couldn't do it, but you made yourself do it. Like that's really crazy. Because like I said, yeah, I mean, I busted my legs. My goal was to walk with 600 pounds. Yeah, I got to that goal, but it was a really humbling experience because then it let me know, like, you know what, you are over pushing your body, you are overeating, you're not helping your diabetes, I say humbling because I'm at a point now where I know that if I do strongman, it can affect my body because I'm not a young guy anymore. I'm an older young guy, about to hit 40. But I understand that, you know what, now my new goal is to just stay fit. And
Mhm.
it's kind of weird because it's like the opposite of being anorexic. I don't like being skinny. I
I don't
want to
like
be
it
big.
either.
And it's a crazy change for me because I'm so used to walking about like huge and just,
Yeah.
like a brick wall, and now I'm walking around and people are like, no, you look good. I'm like, I don't think I look good. I feel like I look too skinny, but it's a mental thing that I've been working on and
And
battling
you know
myself.
what? You can project what you want to them. Because I mean, when I had the meet and greet last year, one of the ladies was like, "Oh my gosh, you look fat in the videos, but you're not fat at all. And damn, you're tall and you got muscles." Like, well, yeah, but it's it's a daily thing. It's a
Yeah.
daily thing of, you know, and it's very, very humbling, man. Yes. Because you know, when you have surgery or when you break something, you're like, oh, now I gotta sit at the wall, look at the wall and read shit that I don't even, you know, it's like, damn, you want to be out there with the grind in the grind. So yourself right now, what I suggest is putting out there, projecting that you're still big, you know, and you're healthy, and you know you're gonna put out there what you want to put out there. So be careful what you tell yourself
Yeah.
because body is permeable, right? We're even though I say we're the bionic man, bionic woman too, you know, it's like we have skin, and the skin, what does the skin have? Pores. And what do
Yeah.
pores, they listen, they sweat, you know. So talk to your pores, talk to your DNA. Hey, dude, like something's hurting today, and talk to that body part and say, I need you to grow new cells, please. Thank you. I appreciate you, my lungs. I appreciate you, my knee. I appreciate you, my ankle. I appreciate you, my little toe. Little, you know what I'm saying? I appreciate you, my heart, my eyes. Don't look at your body and say, oh my gosh, I'm getting so old. Hell no, dude, I'm 52 and I I feel so young. I feel way younger than when I was 25. You know what I'm saying? So look at yourself with love, with appreciation, and yes, keep a very humble heart because we've been there. But that doesn't mean that we're going to be like, you know, negative on ourselves or pity on ourselves. And don't let anybody pity you guys out there. Don't let your family feel sorry for you. Ay, pobrecito, ay, pobrecita. I know it's a Mexican saying, but I'm like, nah, I don't want to hear it. Like, I'm not pobrecita. I'm not pobrecita. I'm rich. I'm rich inside. I'm happy. You know, so I hope that helps. I went up.
No, that's exactly how I see it. And like I realize when you're really honest with people, when you're brutally honest and don't hold anything back, you lose a lot of friends, you lose a
Yeah.
lot of family members. But then you realize, the toxic environment I put myself into because of loyalty is a bad thing. And you really have to be true and honest to yourself to know that your loyalty doesn't mean anything to people because if they can't take from you, then there's no reason for them to use you. And it's a sad truth. It's a very sad truth, but it's one that I've experienced and one that I've seen and still struggle with it to this day because I am still one of those old school loyalty kind of guys where I'm like a dog. You could beat me and I'm gonna come back. But I realize that I actually have to break that mentality. And like I said, I've been doing my own soul searching mentally, physically, spiritually, and it's been a very, very exciting journey that I've loved because you have to enjoy the journey. You have to. Material things don't mean nothing to me. Um, Memories mean the most to me, and I'd rather spend that my last $20 to make a memory than to use it for something like I'm gonna go eat McDonald's or whatever. No, no, I'm gonna use this to put $20 in my gas tank and take my kids to the park and
Yeah,
have them be like, oh, my dad used to play with us and he runs with us and like,
yes,
oh, he did this, and that to me that's even better because what am I gonna do? Let's go home and play the iPads, go play video games. No, I'm not doing them any service. I'm just servicing them. So I mean, it's better for me to keep physical and stay with them. And like you said, you feel younger. I mean, I feel like I'm 18 again. Like it's weird. Like I wake up early and I'm take my 3 breaths and let's go. And the day starts and I have it planned out. Cool, gym, cool, home, shower, eat, work, come home from work, cool, get your clothes ready for the next day. Like, like I set myself up. I have my goals already ready, what I want to reach. Um, and like you said, sometimes you don't feel like going to the gym, but you just gotta drag yourself there. It's not the motivation, it's the discipline you have that keeps you going and it does become an addiction. I mean, the thing that I was addicted to that I realized myself is the strength, being able to lift what most people can't lift. It's crazy when you could walk to a person who has a flat tire and you're like, oh, I can help you, and you could squat the car and they can change the tire. Like, how
yep,
many people you can do that?
yeah. Yeah,
It's
like
it's,
last
it's
year I got a flat tire and I was over there by Herradero on Ajo and I'm over here changing my tire and shit. I was on my way to the gym and I'm like, fuck, man, I got a bunch of oil on my nice, brand new, spanking new, pants, to work out. And then these two guys show up and they're like, you need help? I'm like, well, not really, but all right.
No, no, no. Well, my experience was it was an older gentleman. He didn't have a jack. He had like a little Nissan, I think Sonata or something. And they're plastic. Yes, it's a plastic car, but he didn't have a jack. And I was like, you know what? Do you need help? And he said yes. And I was like, okay, dude, this is what I'm gonna do. And he's like, you can't lift it. It's a car. And he like really started doubting me. And then in my head, I'm like, challenge accepted. So that's how I said. I said, okay, this is my challenge. I have to infiltrate this and get it done as quick as possible. So when I went down, I, got into my squat position, got a shirt, took off, I think I took off my shirt and I put it under the car. And when I said, when I lift, you got to change this tire quick. And
Yeah.
he's like, what are you talking about? And I said, dude, when I lift, change the tire quick. So I remember I lifted it. And to me, it could have been, maybe 30 seconds, a minute, whatever it took for him to change that tire. But for me, it felt like a long time. And I'm like, dude, you need to hurry. But it was amazing to me that I was able to keep, handle that feat because then I was like, you know what I'm doing is actually working. I know I'm in the right direction. But then again, like maybe I was just too into my head. And then, like I said, the vein in my foot popped and it was like an inch of it. And when I took off my shoe, it was like a pool of blood. So, like, it was just, I had to learn from that experience. Like, yes, you are strong, but you have to humble yourself and know that your strength has a limit. So, I
Intention.
mean,
Yeah, it's all about intention. And thank you for that story. Guess what? When I was a cop, oh my God. So my sergeant was tied up in a freaking call. It was freaking like 110 degrees outside. 6th Avenue right there on McDonald's, 6 and 36. One truck stalled. And the girl's like, I need help. And I'm all here pushing her. The truck, right? I pushed the truck out of the way. Then the truck behind her gets stalled. I'm like, dude, are you serious? I had to push that truck too. I'm like, what the, and where's my sergeant? It's sweating and stuff, but I got it done,
yeah.
and I think it's awesome when like things like that happen because you can put every day of practice, everything that you got, your workouts in the past, and then that day you need to use it. And it's like that's the day that you're there. Like, are you gonna fight, fight? What is it? Fight, flight, freeze, or run? Something like that. So it's like, what are you gonna
I mean,
do for your
I mean,
brother?
I grew up in a gang neighborhood, so running wasn't really an option for
Same
us.
here. I
So,
couldn't run.
so you said 6 and 36. I actually grew up on Park and 36. That's
Uh-huh.
actually where I was born and raised. And
Dude, really? Park in
yeah,
36 grew up on Park and Bilby. Right there in
oh
Fontana.
really?
Forest,
Oh,
forest
animal
trailer.
territory. Nice guys.
What? What'd you say?
I said that's enemy territory for us. No, just
That's
kidding.
bad.
But like I said, I grew up that mentality where like, you don't run away.
Yeah.
You stay there and fight. And I've been like that. But my mom, not to quote Spider-Man, but because I am a Marvel fan, I am a little bit of a nerd.
Same here.
With great power comes great strength. And my mom told me a version of that, but in Spanish. Estás bien fuerte, pero úsalo para bueno, which means you are very strong, but you got to use it for good. So I've always took that as, you know what, I'm a bigger person. You got to help the weaker people. And that energy comes back tenfold. Because people that I held back in high school, if I have a technical problem, because I'm not technical savvy, as you saw today, we had a little bit of technical difficulties.
Dude, it
We,
happens to me too.
yeah,
I'm
yeah, yeah.
I'm
We
still
were
trying
having, I was having trouble on my end, and it was like I couldn't connect to the internet. I couldn't get the mics to work. I'm like, oh, this is terrible. But then, like, like I just kept working with it, just like, okay, dude, you can figure this out. Just keep doing it. But I know if I would have called my friend who I had helped back in the day, who was a tech savvy genius, he's an engineer, he would have done it for me for free because I helped him back in the day, whatever situation that was. But like I said, positive energy gives back positive energy, and that I really truly believe that, and it's crazy how that works. But I also wanted to ask you because I saw one of your YouTube videos was my journey in the super soldier program, and I just wanted to know like what was your experience in that? Because I
Yeah.
mean, people think super soldier, they think Captain America, and that's what they were trying to make or stuff like that. I think yours was a little different.
Well, there's many experiences. So I finally got my record from Peter the Insider. Shout out to Peter the Insider from ACIO, and Jessica Morocco and Power Lady. So I got my record back last in February because I'm like, I've had all these dreams and visions of being on Mars and the moon and freaking Neptune and Uranus and Pluto and even in the multiverse, like, is this real? And they're like, yeah, you've been, as a matter of fact, you've been in Mars 32 times, the moon, just different places. And there is actually a jump room in California, in Sepulveda Boulevard, where you can actually go through portals. Like if you guys have ever seen that movie, Miss Peregrine's
Okay.
Children, what is it called? Miss Peregrine's, like a safe haven for special. I don't like to call it special kids because we're not. We're hybrids. We have all these superpowers,
Mhm.
and so when I was a year and a half, they took me. They meaning the powers that be that are above the dome. Okay, above the dome on Earth, because that's how I see it. We're under a glass dome above and below, and it's like they took me in at one and a half, and they started giving me these shots, you know, and taking my blood too. And the memory that I have is that I'm underwater and I'm a baby. And then somehow I'm able to breathe, you know. You can also look at the CIA. They have a lot of patents that have been uncovered now with the MK Ultra and the voice to skull technology, where you'll
Mhm.
hear things, and they're, oh, you gotta go do that. Oh, how do you know it's you? How do you know it's because then in church they say, oh, it's the Holy Spirit. Well, how do you know it's not AI? How do you know it's not them? So anyway, I do have memories also. I just had a memory just a month ago where because I know, like I said, I came in as a star and I was they captured me in the ocean and I'm in a pool, in a swimming pool, all by myself, and then boom, like I stand up and I'm like leaning on this thing in the hospital. So my tail comes and it becomes two legs. And then boom, they have to give me a machine. They get on this machine so that your legs get stronger so you can be a human. I have experiences fighting with the dog wolves that are blue. Some of them are werewolves, some of them are dogmen, some of them are in Pluto, some of them are here. Okay. I've been in Venus where I was a little boy and they had me, they were taking my blood. And then they gave me an arm that was steel. And that's like, because, we have powers where like certain things will come out of us, especially in the astral, where you're fighting these beings, and you're chopping people up. You have a sword here as an arm, things like that. And I'm like, I'm a little boy and I'm like, what am I doing here? And I see all these other people that are draining their blood, but they're giving their blood voluntarily. And I'm like, why are you doing that? Oh, because they promised me that my kids, when the end times happen, quote unquote, okay, that's also a program we got to work with. And you know, they promised me that my kids and my family would be taken care of. I'm like, what are you doing? You know, so I leave this place, and the guy's like, be careful. There's, you know, I see rocks and I see water. And then I see this guy, and it's all like very mountainy. And then there's like a bunch of like woods, and this man, his body starts becoming like rocks. And he says, you better run, because
Yeah,
that dark, we
yeah.
hunt. I
It's funny because I spoke to a man and he goes, "Oh, why do you like the Hulk?" And I said, "It's just my favorite Marvel character. I've always liked him." And he goes, "I was in a program. It was called the Hulk program, where they made us, 10 feet tall. We were big and we were fighting
yes,
rock people."
yes.
And he was explaining to me, and he was telling me his situation, and I was like, "That had to be a dream." And he goes, "No, it wasn't a dream. I really experienced
Memory.
it." Yeah, and he goes, and I guess they wiped his memory,
Yeah.
but he went to a therapist and they did hypnosis on him, and everything started coming back, and everything started coming. And I was like, why is this guy talking to me? Because like I said, people come up and talk to me all the time. I don't know, it's because like I said, my frequency is different, or just people are comfortable telling me all these stories. I've spoken to so many people that have been abducted. I've had my own abduction experience. Um, and it's just, people don't think about it that way. They don't, I don't know, like it goes back to, like, the biggest profit of religion is faith. If you don't have faith, then you don't have anything, which to me is a load of crap, because it doesn't matter regardless if you have faith or not, because if nothing's back there at the end of the life, then you were just wasted, basically,
Mhm.
because you have to make your life have some kind of meaning. But when people talk to me and tell me their stories, I don't shun them away and be like, "Oh, this guy's crazy. He's a conspiracy theorist. Every person has their own truth, whatever it is, however they see it, however they experience it. You just listen to them, and just listening to somebody else, that helps them heal. That helps them feel better. Even if I believe them or not, that doesn't matter to me or to them, because you know what? Their truth is their truth. As long as they can explain their truth, and they actually experiences those experiences. So when he was telling me that story, I'm like, man, dude, this is amazing. Like, it sounds like a movie, but this guy is really telling me like extreme detail of his experiences, because he's like he said, he got injected with some kind of needle, didn't know what it was,
It's
and all of
a
a sudden he was
black.
10 feet tall,
Mhm.
super strong, and he said he was battling these rock people, and
Yeah, I have memories of being in a water tank, and then so when I was going to the doctor, I'm not gonna say his name, at the chemo pain center for pain, they would give me these shots in my neck, and right, and every time they give me the oxygen thing, you know, the anesthesia or whatever through here, I could still hear them. And there's a riddle. Where's Kevin from the Penguins cartoon? And I
yeah,
would say, where's the doctor? I would start like, hey, is Dr. So and so here? And I was down already. Oh, he's coming in now. And then this whole thing, I'm in outer space. And the last thing I hear before coming to is Kevin. And I'm like, so I get up and I'm like, where's the doctor? Oh, he's gone. But in one of the incidents, he was in there, and I heard him come in with two other females. And I kind of looked up and I saw them, and then boom, I went back. And then he said, you see this black thing? It's circling around her spine. And I'm like, holy F. So I knew, because back then a one of my friends, a seer, he had said, yeah, I see that they had you on the thing. It's called the octopus. And I'm like, no wonder, because my back is always hurting. And I'm like, does it have to do with the anthrax shot? Says that, but then when you were a year and a half, that's when they started giving you these, you know, to enhance you. I'm like, so I'm in this green bluish water tank, and I'm like hung like this. And then they put me on a slab, and they put this machine on top of me here, one on my stomach, and I'm growing and I'm turning green, and my clothes is like, you know, I'm naked. And it's like, what are they doing to me? And then I see in my vision when I go back, because I do my own, like, I ask myself, you know, what's going on. And I've also had 3 regressions in the past. And I see this red line and this green line, and they say you are the 99. And I'm like, holy F. And all that month I was seeing these license plates 99. And then here there was a vehicle that had the umbrella for the Umbrella Corporation. So I was in many programs, Umbrella Corp, you know, Project Mannequin, IBIS, the one with the radiation Manhattan Project, where you can go through portals, but then you have radiation. So the Hulks they gave us, there was an accident where we actually have the ability to go at radiation makes us more powerful, but yes, it gives us migraines. I don't know if you've ever noticed that. I still get 34 to 43 shots in my head and right here because I get migraines. So I use shungite. Shungite is what I wear. I got my jade, my green Hulk jade, right? I got this here. It's shungite as well. It minimizes the radiation on our phones and all that stuff, right? I even put shungite pieces in the water. Now, a lot of people say, hey, Vero, you know, you're drinking the tap water. I'm like, so I transmute that shit. It makes me stronger. That's just me, though. And I've talked to other bodybuilders in Las Vegas. Shout out to Gina Jones, girlfriend. I'm going to go see you in September. She's badass. And she's so strong. But anyway, she and I were talking the other day. It's like that water just transmutes me. I transmute the water. It just makes us stronger. I go, that's right. That's right. Just no fear. That's all I'm saying. No fear. So anyway, they gave us a bunch of like black goo, green goo, yellow goo, red goo. We got the pink goo. And they wanted to break us. They wanted to see how strong also that we could be. So when they try and break you, right? And I don't want to talk about that stuff that happens, but you know, unfortunately, when they take advantage of us sexually as well, we have fragments. So we kind of like leave our body because we're bioluminescence. Remember, we're bioluminescence. Look at that. Look at like a crystal, and it has different colors, right? That's us. We could be plasma. We could be anything with that. So that part of us leaves, and boom, they put another person in there, and another person in there. And I talk a lot about the Sex Kitten Altar program. Because if you notice kids about 14, 15, especially if they're young girls, they start being promiscuous. You know, watching Nicki Minaj and like that new video that they have out there with the girl with the pink. You know, now Barbie's coming out, which I love Barbie, don't get me wrong. But it's all these programs. Even last night I was watching a movie that I watched a long time ago called Stepmom with Julia Roberts. And she was talking to a 12-year-old girl, her stepdaughter supposedly in the movie, and said something about, and he doesn't even know what snow blowing means. I'm like, what the fuck is that? And I looked it up. Snow blowing? Look that up. I'm not gonna talk about and I had seen this movie before. You know,
Yeah.
and it
Well, I
was
mean, there's always messages in movies and commercials and music and everything, and it's really up to you to understand what they're showing us and to really see it. And I get it, music's universal, but I mean, sometimes with the music that comes out today, it's just so the message is just right there, and they're just like so bloody to tell you like, do this, don't listen to that. The other day, I caught my daughter watching a YouTube video, and it was a cartoon, and the cartoon was like, shut the door on your mom. And I was like, no, 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 we're not gonna do this. Like, first of all, I flagged that channel for her. And then I told her, I was like, you should never do that to your mother because first of all, if you do that to your mother, that's a sign of disrespect. And that's a bad thing to do towards a mother, a motherly figure, or anybody to do that towards them. That's disrespect because respect is respect, regardless of what you think, what you do. Respect is universal and everybody can use it. And I truly believe that.
also, I just got this. So shut the mother inside is also shutting her mother inside, herself as a mother being, okay? So the transgender program, we can talk about this next time. They want the girls to be boys. They want the boys to be girls. Always say, I do not consent. I return to sender with consciousness attached because even the music, you know, what I'm trying to say is if you're sitting there watching a program and you're like, ha ha ha, and you don't, and you know it's wrong and you're just laughing, you're accepting it. You verbally have to say it or in your mind say, I do not consent. And I also help people break contracts. So contracts and dreams. Before we go, Jose, I got to tell you about this dream that I had, and I think it's you. The more we talk, it has to be you. I couldn't sleep last night, you know, and I'm like, I just couldn't sleep. Story of my life. And so finally fall asleep. There's this lady that comes to me with shoulder length, white platinum hair with a suit. She's wearing a skirt suit. She has 2 pieces of paper, stapled together. And she gives it to me. And the paper is, I see the first page, it's like a baby Spider-Man. And I'm like, shit, well, that could be my son. That could be me. Because I told her, well, I'm Spider-Man too. Because, you've seen me wear my spider wear, but it's SPY, spider, right? I'm a female Spider-Man. I could be Thor. I could be whatever. So I'm like, is that me? Is that my son? What is it? And then, because of what your mom said, that's a code word indicating that that's you here. Then I see it transform into a Spider-Man, but he has eyes as snake eyes. Kind of reminded me of snake eyes from Cobra, GI Joe. You gotta clear that. Okay, you gotta clear the negative entities, because they're trying to use you in these programs for bad. So you gotta clear that up. I'll send you a revocation that you can do. And then right beside it, I see a Hulk going pow, like that, like a small on the side of the page with the white going, like breaking through.
Yeah.
That's you. I knew it was you. And the next page, it was all written. So we got to break those contracts.
Yeah.
For you to be used as bad, no, we're not going to do that. We do not consent. So that was you. I'm glad that you talked.
No, I mean, definitely, I would definitely like to touch different topics with you and have you back on this podcast again. And I mean, like I said, talking to you has been very helpful, and learning of your experiences to me is wide open, and as well, because I mean, like I said, if I have a question or like I hear a certain theory, I bring it to you right away because I want to know what you're saying. I don't just bring it to you, I bring it to other people, but I value what you say as well. And on your YouTube channel, the thing I love is that you actually sometimes have a panel. I think the last person you had on was the director of The Matrix.
Yeah, Tom Aldhouse, he actually wrote it.
Yeah. So when I saw that, I was really amazed. I was like, dude, she really does her research. She really talks to people who have some insight of what she speaks about. And to me, that is amazing. I forgot her name was First Lady.
First Lady Erica Woman.
Yes. When she was speaking, she didn't speak a lot about what she spoke about Reiki, and I didn't know what that was. And but it interested me. So then I started looking at it, and then I started discovering, oh shit, that's amazing. Like to me, that's cool. You're doing to me like, but like I said, like your channel really brings a lot of views that I don't think about. I know that you also spoke about the transgender agenda and all that stuff, and you speak a lot of stuff that like a lot of current events that people don't want to talk about. And like I said, you have a panel. They all give information, their information, whatever they've discovered, whatever they know, and I find it very like useful and helpful in some ways.
Thank you.
So
I appreciate you saying that. Yeah, because when I first started the channel, I was like, I want to interview people to tell me their story. I want them to say their story. I don't care I want them to take it out of their heart and express their emotions and heal somehow, and bring it to the world too. Like if somebody on the show can help somebody else, it's not just about me, man. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people are like, look at me, it's all about me. Oh my gosh, selfies every freaking day. I'm tired of y'all posting your selfies. I know how you look. Like, stop that. You know what I'm saying? Unless it's like, of course, for thumbnails or your business cards, whatever. But I'm just like past that. Anyway, so yeah, that's what my thing was, is I wanted you all to express yourselves. And thank you, Hope, for having me on, and we'll do it again.
I mean, before you leave, do you want to plug anything, any links or anything like that? Or
Oh yeah, I'm working on my website. Another thing is, thank you for bringing up that friend of yours, the guy that helped you technically wise. Power Lady has been helping me just for me to do my own website, because my website was stolen from me when I started it. And even my t-shirts, I have my original t-shirt here, and anyway, for the code breaker, real talk. And she's pushing me to do my website. So that's what I'm working on right now. My First Lady Erica helped me to get my link tree. So it's Linktree, and then there's a / code breaker real talk. You can look up Veronica Bartolini. You can look up Unchaining Hearts, Code Breaker Real Talk, and you'll find me. Google my name, Veronica Bartolini. And I like you said, I do healings, readings. I can verify remote view, galactic, intergalactic, if you were in the programs or not. So yeah, just even a question. If you have a question, we could do it by email. There's different prices, and if you can't, then I get that too, so yeah, just you could do that. Look me up and hopefully we'll talk. Thank you.
Awesome. Well, thank you for coming on and hope you have a good day.
Thank you. Wait, real quick. How do they get to hear your podcast? What's the
So
name?
I do it through Spotify and Anchor. It's called Talk to Me or Whatever by Hulk Daddy Moo. It's just what I chose. I thought it was funny at the time and I just went with it. You could do that. Right now, I'm also on Snapchat, which is Shamu's Smile, because I also go by Shamu as my nickname. Um, I'm on TikTok. It's Jose El Shamu Ramirez on TikTok. Mostly that's all I really do. I don't have Facebook anymore, or Instagram, just because it's a negative energy that
Yeah.
I don't really condone and don't really accept anymore. So you can find me like that as well. I'm hoping to pretty soon put my name on the internet so they can find me and find my podcast a lot faster. I'm hoping to get into video podcasting. Once I do, I'll definitely be letting people know about that as well.
Awesome. Thank you so much. We'll see you then.
Later.